Hey guys, it's Danny and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing this game that I created, which it's for different book series. It's called Gem or Blem. So basically it's like which books in this series are a gem and which books are a blemish, Blem for short, so that it rhymes. Ba-dum-bum. Anyway, so that's the game that I'm going to do. I have a bunch of different series in this little cup here. I wrote them all down, and we're going to draw about 5, and we're going to rate them. So, let's get started. So let's do our first little... Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. Okay, here it is, Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. This is a trilogy that deals with the riches of people from Singapore, and a movie was made out of the first one, and it was really funny, and this is gonna be hard. So let me start with the gems before I go to the blems. The third one was a gem because it was a good ending to the series, and it was pretty shocking, had a lot of new revelations. Third one is a gem. This is going to be hard. The second one, this might be a blem, just because, and I don't want to fall into the pattern of the second one always being the blem, because there are multiple seconds that are not blems, but this might be a blem only because the first one was not a blem. The first one was really, really good. I mean, this is not my favorite book series, but this was a good book, so this is a gem. And then I'm going to have to put the second one as a blem because it just didn't really stand out. I mean, it had new things and was shocking and fun to read. It was just not as good as the other two. So this is a blem. Next one. Let's see. Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare. Oops. These books are heavy. This is the Infernal Devices series by Cassandra Clare. These books are her second series in the Shadowhunter world that takes place in the 1800s and involves Tessa, Will, and Gem. This is my favorite of her Shadowhunter Chronicles series. This trilogy will destroy you and then put you back together again. It is amazing. The writing is beautiful. They're all gems. Like Clockwork Angel, great beginning, awesome characters, awesome plot twist, gem. We have the second one, even better than the first, amazing, amazing, also a gem. And then this third one that emotionally destroyed me, gem. All 3 are gems. Next victim, Harry Potter. I have to change the camera angle so y'all can see. Oh, crap. Okay, so this is really heavy. You see it? You see it? It's the series. I'm gonna put it down now. So Harry Potter. This was the series that got me into reading, so this is gonna be hard. But first book, gem for the nostalgia, for the fact that this is what got me into reading, and this was the first book I picked up, you know, obviously the first in the series. It's just gem for the nostalgia. Second one, also a gem, because Gilderoy Lockhart is the best comic relief ever. Third one, gem as well, Sirius Black and Remus Lupin. That's all I have to say. Fourth one was quite big. I remember a lot of bad things happened and sad things happened in this one, and it was just really big. And I remember I reread these during quarantine, but I kind of remember being very bored. I remember being like, hurry up, pick up the pace. So this is a blem only because of the length, you know, just kind of be like, ugh. The fifth one, also a blem. It was a lot of Harry and Dumbledore talking and then Harry destroying Dumbledore's stuff. So, and he's acting like a whiny baby. Blem. Half-Blood Prince is a gem because Snape's past and intrigue and then the whole Lavender drama, epic. This is a gem. And then, of course, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows is a gem because of that ending and amazingness, beautiful, talented, brilliant. It's a gem. Next victim. Let's see. Ooh, I'm gonna go with this one. This is going in the trash. The Dark Dark Artifices, also by Cassandra Clare. Here is the Dark Artifices series by Cassandra Clare. This is the third series in the Shadowhunter Chronicles. It's not my favorite, but it's probably my second or third favorite. I'm not sure. But here it is. Let's start with the first book. I think this one is a Blem only because the other two books have so much more involvement. There's like so much, there's just so much more in the other two books. So I'm just gonna label this one as a Blem, just because like the plot branches out so much from here. This one is a Gem. There are other people come in. There's more intrigue and more drama. This is a Gem. And then this book, holy crap. There's like so much going on in here. So much that like can be solved in the Wicked Powers that's gonna come out in a couple years. There's so much like, you know, just new stuff, and then all the characters come back. Just Gem. Alex and Eliza by Melissa de la Cruz. This is one on my favorite books list, and I talked about this in my last video, this series, Alex and Eliza series, but I will go into more detail. Let's start with the first book. This is my favorite book out of the whole series. This is 100% a Gem. This book is amazing. I was totally in love with every character. It just, well, not, you know, the bad ones, obviously, but, you know, I was in love with Alex, I was in love with Eliza. I believed in their love story. I was enraptured. Second book, I'm also going to call it a Gem, just because it is as good as the first one. There's a lot of drama. There's a lot more other elements besides their romance, but it still goes back to that. It's a little bit less centered on that just because of all the other stuff. You can kind of get lost in it, but it's 4.5 while this one is 5. It's like stars. It's still really good. This is a Gem. And this is the Blem of this series. It's the last book in this series. I enjoyed how she ended it, and I enjoyed the way she handled Mariah's entrance, or Maria Reynolds, however you pronounce it. I like how she handled it, but some changes that she made to Eliza's character were not, it made her appear snobby and self-centered and conceited, and that is not what Eliza is. Eliza has never been that. I just didn't like that. And the whole Mariah Reynolds thing, how do you like that? Like, it's not good. It's just, this book is good, but it's like, it could have been done better. There's so much, like, you get lost in all of his, like, information about his law cases, and you're just like, ugh, can we, like, get back to the main point of the book, which is Alex and Eliza's romance. So, this is the Blem of this series. Last one, be deep for this one, and I'm just throwing things. Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. Here is the Twilight series. This is probably out of order a little bit, but it's fine. So let's go through it. There's a lot to unpack here. Let's start with, I'm going to start with Twilight, and I'm going to start with Midnight Sun and then go into the original. Okay, literally books everywhere. Midnight Sun. I had very high, not high expectations, but since this had been in the making so long, I thought it should be pretty close to perfection for a book that has taken this long. And just, since she knows the story so well, and she knows Edward's character so well, it just wasn't. Like, okay, so first of all, this book is 600 pages while the original Twilight was only around 400. It increased the amount by 200 pages. It's basically 600 pages of Edward pining over a 17-year-old girl and wondering that, like, eating her would be the best experience ever, but he can't do that, and it's a lot of pining and just kind of weird simping from afar. And then, like, I thought for this big of a book, we would get Edward's overview on the entire series. I thought we would start with Twilight, go to the main moments, and then through the whole series, like, especially like Renesmee's birth and Bella's like changing, Bella's turning into a vampire. Those are the kinds of things that we want from Edward's perspective because he was so instrumental in them. This is just literally the third retelling of the same first book. We're tired of it. Like, it's boring at times. Like, really, who wants to read another 600-page book about a story we've already heard twice? It's just like, and can we talk about this atrocious cover? Atrocious. I'm gonna call this one a Blem because we've heard this story so many times. She could have done so much with this, but she didn't. And from that, we're moving on to, if I can find it. I'll start with this one. This one is the 10th anniversary reimagined version of Twilight. This is a gem, actually. I liked this. I liked the gender switch. I liked that they, the changed ending. That was a little spoiler, sorry, but I liked the ending. I really quite liked how they did this, and I feel like this is better than Midnight Sun. Like, this gender switching, even though we've already heard the story, was a new take on the story. Edward's was not a new take on the story. The only thing I got out of Midnight Sun was we need a Carlisle and Esme novel. This actually showed some new ideas into Twilight, and I liked it for that. And then Twilight itself, I'm just going to call it a gem because it gave me enough to keep going, but it was just, it's Twilight. I mean, what else are we supposed to say? And then New Moon, Blem, it was literally boring and sad, and Bella trying to kill herself because Edward was gone. Like, ma'am, please get a life. Like, go out, make some friends. Why should your whole life hinge on one immortal freaking vampire who could kill you? Eclipse I'm just gonna call this also a Blem because, again, feels like filler. It's like just more pining and more dragging on about Bella or Edward or Jacob or Edward or Jacob or Edward or Jacob, and then like Victoria's coming and I'm a vampire and my family's gonna die. More 500-page pining. And Breaking Dawn, I'm gonna call this a gem only because I liked the ending, and the battles and the scene with the Volturi was cool, and then the beginning was cool, and then the changing, and I love Renesmee. Jacob imprinting on Renesmee, I don't hate it. I do feel like it invalidates the rest of his feelings from the whole series, and I don't like that part. But the imprinting, I feel like many people see it as kind of gross. I don't really feel that it's gross in a chance. I feel like it was like, okay, he imprinted on Renesmee. Now what? Great. So I'm gonna call this a gem just because it ended the series well, and it was something. I mean, what else can I say? It's Twilight. It was just, you read it, you went through the phase, it's all there. And that concludes our Gem or Blem video. Thank you so much for watching this video. I had so much fun filming it and getting to tell you my opinions on whether a series was a gem or a Blem, which ones were good, which ones were bad. Thank you so much for watching, and like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.